When we get to this holiday, as I know the Talmud classes heard me say this for the last few weeks, I think Hanukkah sometimes gets a bad rap. Oh, Hanukkah, it's just a minor holiday. Oh, everyone loves Hanukkah so much, it's not really that important of a holiday. Hi. Bye. He doesn't really understand jokes, but he knows the cadence of a joke, and he knows how to laugh at it, too. It's very useful. So I think Hanukkah sometimes gets shoved down into the side, and it's like it's post-biblical. Is it really real? But there's so much richness and beauty in this holiday. As our other holidays, it's not just we should give gifts. That's fun. It's sweet. It's joyful. And if it's a gift-giving holiday, what that means is it's actually a gratitude holiday. And how might that shift and pivot our gift-giving if it's a gratitude focus? But that's a heretical idea I'll share with you another time, not on the bima, but in a classroom. It's a holiday about light and latkes and sweet stories, but it's not just a pediatric holiday. As with many of our holiday experiences, if we're willing, we can find in it tremendous depth and meaning that can give. What are the holidays for? Like every tradition at this time of year has a light holiday. It makes sense. It's dark outside. Let's do a thing that's about light. And ours has like this extra little flavor. It's got the Maccabees and it's got the oil. It's in like the Hallmark vision. Like we don't need Thanksgiving. We can say thank you every day. We don't need Valentine's Day. We can say I love you every day. But sometimes it's useful to have a day on the calendar, a moment, a week, that's to set our intention for the year. Or to set our intention even for the moment. And Hanukkah is full of powerful intention that speaks to who and what we are as human beings. I maybe told you this story last year, and either you will remember it and it will feel like an old friend, or you forgot and it'll feel like a brand new story. So, there was a rabbi who, in his study hall, had to send his students down at times to the basement to get, books and materials, and they were afraid because it was dark. They didn't want to go down into the dark basement. So he said, all right, well, let's figure out a strategy. How do we get rid of the dark? So one student grabbed a broom, went downstairs and tried to sweep the dark away. Not so successful. Next one said, I know, I'm very loud. So he went down to the basement and screamed and tried to scream and shout the darkness away. Successful or unsuccessful? Unsuccessful. Did not work. The next got pots and pans and sticks and tried to bang and scare the darkness away, and that didn't work. And then they went and found a candle, and just one little candle they brought and put in the corner of the room banished all of the darkness. When we get to this holiday, we learn that a little bit of light can banish a lot of darkness. Dr. King said it too. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. When we get to January, we'll be talking more about Dr. King and how love can banish hate and how light can banish darkness. You'll get some emails about it. We're going to go to Calvary on Wednesday morning and on Sunday evening. They're going to come here on Friday. We'll have some opportunities to talk about how a little bit of light can banish a lot of dark. That message, that's not a pediatric vision of Hanukkah. That's a where are we vision of Hanukkah. That's what's happening in our world, and how can we be like the shamash, that candle whose job it is to spark other light, to be in service of bringing more light into the world. Ooh, Rabbi got really heavy on the day when we're going to go eat more latkes and sufgan yot after, too. And it's a holiday when we take our Chanukiah, and traditionally, where do you put it? Not in the sink where you have to leave the house so the candles burn and not everyone's safe, right? You put it in the window. And the rabbis say maybe it's pirsum hanes, it's to publicize the miracle. Make sure everyone knows that the miracle of Hanukkah happened. What else does a Chanukiah in the window do? It marks the home as a Jewish home. It's an opportunity to have pride and confidence in identity. Talmud students, kal v'chomer. You remember that phrase? Not if you Talmud. Yes, we've been learning that one, working on that Aramaic. Kal v'chomer. If in this instance, all the more so in that instance. Kal v'chomer, all the more so to have it during December time in America, where everything it feels like is red and green. And like good, people should celebrate their holidays and have the music and the food and the joy, the music that mostly we wrote, but we'll do that. That's for another trivia night another time. But it's a moment to say, like, where do I fit in this majority Christian society? Is it a year where I'm confident putting my menorah in the window? Is it sha'at sakana? Is it an hour of danger where we have to maybe put it on the dining room table further from the outside, from a public-facing space? Hanukkah is a chance to have confidence and pride in who we are and wonder about the world and the communities in which we live and how we want to take part in that, where we fit. Hanukkah is also a story about intellectual and spiritual compromise, which may feel sorely lacking in the world in which we live. When you were out there, when you were home, when you put your candles in, we're working on, Kevin, when we put our candles in, do we put them in? Which way do we put them in? You got it, you can do it, you got it. We put them in, right to left, good. And we light them? Left to right, we got it, good, right. We put them in, right to left, and we light them left to right. Why? Because that's the way your bubby did it, so that's the way that you do it too, right? Because thousands of years ago, two rabbis argued about how we should light the Chanukiah. And one guy won, but the other guy's ideas we wanted to include as well. So we add the candles and count down with the lighting. We find a way to include every voice in community. We find a way to be flexible, to compromise, to have spiritual creativity and vision about what it means to build and sustain a community so that we can do our work to ma'alin b'kodesh v'lo moridin, to always add more light and holiness and never to take it away. This holiday has tremendous richness in it. We have to have the richness of the latkes and the sufgan yot, and spin the dreidel and open the presents, tell the stories and sing the sweet songs. If you haven't heard Puppy for Hanukkah by David Diggs, it's 2 years ago, 1 year ago, add it to your Hanukkah playlist. It like zhuzhes up the I have a little dreidel vibe. It's nice to add. We got to have the sweet and the joyful. And if we're willing to dig into it, this holiday can be about something deeper and more. It can be about light, can be about pride and identity, can be about who we are as a people and how we always bring even just a little bit more light to banish the darkness. And we'll do that for 8 days. And my hope is that in the weeks and months to come, we'll do that work together. We will be the shamash to add a little bit more light, to banish the dark, and build a world that feels a little more whole, a little more just, and a little more peaceful. Kain Yehi Ratzon, may these words be worthy of coming true.